Guys, we are going over one of the most valuable lessons you'll ever learn, and I truly mean that. By internalizing this, by revisiting this over and over again and actually applying it to your life, things will start to change, and they can change so fast. That's coming up next. Hi guys, welcome to HeartSpace, where we are helping you become more of a space from your heart and expand your consciousness and expand your awareness. My name is Dave, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon for daily videos on topics like consciousness, spirituality, self-growth, and so on. Now in this video, I want to go over, like I said, something that's going to be one of the most practical yet impactful things you do, and it's called the habit curve. Now, most people in life, they don't get to where they want to go because one year to the next year, they are exactly the same person. Have you noticed for many people in your life that a lot of them are the same, or exactly the same, maybe even a little bit worse than they were the year before or 6 months down the line? Like if you were to come back and look at them, you would be like, okay, they have the same habits, they're doing the same stuff, they have the same friends, they make the same amount of money, they have the same skill set, they're basically the same. And the reason that they are is because they're not doing things like this that we're going to be going over today. If you do this, if you follow what I'm going over today, it guarantees that you are going to continue to grow over time. And in fact, in a very short amount of time. This guarantees that you will continually progress in whatever area you want to progress in, whether that's in sports, whether that's in finances, whether that's in your relationships, whether that's in music, you want to develop a skill musically, whatever it is, you can use this understanding to develop amazing skills and amazing habits in any area. So first, before we go over how you do this, we have to be aware and learn what the 4 stages of learning are. And I'm going to tell you what most people fall into and when most people quit. Because if we look at most people, what happens when they start something new? They try it for a little bit, and then they get frustrated because they're not that good at it, and so they quit. This is the vast majority of people, but if you want to succeed in life, if you want to get good at things, if you want to progress, if you want to evolve, if you want to be rich, if you want to be athletic, if you want to be healthy, you can't do that. You can't adopt that mentality. Remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so if you just continually do things and start things and then quit, you are setting yourself up for failure. But we first need to understand the 4 levels of learning, and here they are. The first level is called unconscious incompetence, and we'll explain what each of these are. The second level is called conscious incompetence. The third level is called conscious competence, and the fourth level is called unconscious competence. Almost forgot it there. But let's break each one down. Now, most people fall into the category of either unconscious incompetence or conscious incompetence. So these are the 2 most common. So the first one is essentially you don't know what you don't know. For example, you may have never played the guitar before. And so you have no idea how hard it is to play the guitar, how hard it is to get good at that. That's where you would be in stage 1. You're in unconscious incompetence because you're not even aware of anything to do with that skill. You're not even aware that you're not good at it because you've never even exposed yourself to it. There are other skills that you don't even know of, or other areas you don't even know of, that you don't know you're not good at because you're not aware of it. So that's called unconscious incompetence because you're not conscious of it. It's something you don't know. But the second you become aware of something and you try something new, so let's say, for example, you want to start painting, you want to start being more of an artist, or you want to start something musically. Well, you get to the guitar, you pick up the paintbrush, or even like we can make this something that's financially related. Maybe you want to start saving money and developing the skill of saving money. So in the past, you were unconscious incompetent because you had no idea about it. You didn't know what you didn't know, but now you're consciously incompetent. And so what that means is you now are trying the skill and you're aware that you're not that good at it. You're now conscious that you're incompetent at the skill. And everyone starts out at this stage. And so you're now aware that you're not good at, say, saving money because you've never done it before, you haven't practiced the skill, or you're not good at painting, you've never done it before, or maybe you're trying a new sport and you're not that great at it because you've never done it before, but now you're conscious of that fact. So the mere act of becoming conscious of something, conscious of a skill, puts you up a level onto stage 2. However, Guess what stage most people quit at? Guess what stage holds people back the most? Guess what stage is really determining whether you live an average or a very successful, fulfilling life? That's right, you guessed it, stage number 2. Because most people give up at conscious incompetence. Because they're now aware that they're not good at something and they don't want to put in the work to get good at it. They don't want to put in the work that's going to get them to that next stage, which is conscious competence. So beware of stage 2. When you're in stage 2, you need to discipline yourself even more. You need to make sure you are, really doing the things you need to do. And we're going to be going over the habit curve, which is going to help you do this. But you really need to make sure when you're in that second stage that if you really want the thing you're working towards, that you stay in it. Because your ego, other people, so many things are going to be trying to convince you to not do it. But if you can remember, it's okay, I'm just in stage 2. I'm in conscious incompetence. I'm just aware that I'm not good at it, but that's fine. I'm building up the habit, I'm getting better, and eventually if I stick with it, with repetition, I'll be in stage 3, which is conscious competence. Now, conscious competence, obviously, is when you know about the thing, but you've also developed the skill and you're pretty good at it. But you also have to do it very consciously. So for example, you're painting and you have to focus and be really honed in and really, go over the mechanics and the basics you learned to get it right. Think of it, I'll do a soccer analogy since I also teach soccer and I have a big soccer YouTube channel. In soccer, if you have to really think about controlling the ball and what you have to do and all the mechanics for shooting the ball, you're in conscious competence as long as you're good at it. So you have to still think about it. When you move into unconscious competence, then it's instinctual. Then it is muscle memory. Then you're doing things without even thinking. You've done it so much that you can do it without thinking. So again, in soccer, let's say shooting, for example, for myself, I've become so good at that and practiced it so many times, I don't need to think about the mechanics of doing it while doing it. My body just knows how to do it. So I'll already automatically lock my ankle, strike the ball in a certain place on my foot, lean over the ball, do certain other things automatically because I've gotten so good at it that I'm close to a level of mastery at it. Now, that doesn't mean you won't always be working on it, but that's just an example. So conscious competence is when you have to be more aware, more in the moment, more present with what you're doing, thinking of the mechanics, but you're good at it, you're competent, so you're starting to get really good at that thing. And then, like I said, unconscious competence is when you're getting close to mastery. This is when it's instinct. You don't even need to think about it. When the painter puts the brush up to the canvas and they're so good at the skill of painting, they just allow the inspiration to come through and their arm almost starts moving on its own. And because their arm is trained and their artistic ability is trained, they're able to instinctually take the picture in their head and put it on the canvas. For someone playing the guitar, they don't have to keep really thinking about where their fingers and thumbs need to be or how to strum. They're already so good at that and doing it automatically that it seems like it's moving on its own because they've become unconsciously competent. Now they're feeling the music. Now they're really hooked in and they don't have to think too much about where they're placing their fingers unless they make a mistake and they need to adjust something. But if you ever saw like a rock star, someone who's not even looking at it, he's so good at it. He has so much muscle memory associated to it. He's unconsciously competent at it that he doesn't even need to look at the guitar to do it anymore because he's done it so much. So obviously the goal is to become unconsciously competent, but how do we get to that goal? Well, first it's understanding the habits curve. And this is what trips a lot of people up. Like we said, a lot of people give up in stage 2, which is conscious incompetence. So the habit curve actually looks like this. If you think about it, you're starting a new skill, so you're just starting out right here. So you're at the very bottom. Let's put it a little lower there. I have to look at the screen to see that. At the very bottom. And let's say mastery of the skill, stage 4 is up here, and stage 2 is like here, and stage 3 is here. Whenever you're building a skill or you're learning something new, it always goes in this way. You learn a little bit, you practice, and you go here. But then people think that you're here, and then you just go here, and then here, and then here, and then you're just at the top very quickly. No, it actually goes like this. You're at the bottom, you work on the skill, you do a session, you do something that bumps you up a little bit, you're a little bit better, and then you stay there for a little bit and you actually go down again. There's actually a part where you go down because you forget some of the things that you learned. You haven't gotten it all into your muscle memory yet. You're strumming the thing. You had an hour session doing the guitar and you've learned a few things, but you're gonna forget some of those things later. You're not going to remember everything you did in that session. You're going to forget where to place some of your fingers. You're going to forget some things that you need to do. So it goes like this. You go up a little, you're here, and you dip a little. However, the dip is still going to be a little higher than when you started off. But here's where most people quit. So they do that session, they come here, they're here, they dip a little, and on that dip, when they realize, wow, I really am not that good at it, and they're aware of it, they quit completely without understanding that you then need to have another session. Repetition, repetition, repetition. So you go like this, up a little, you're here, and then your starting point's a little higher. Your regular starting point was there, you're up, you're there, but now your starting point's here. So now you're here, up, there, boom. And then you're eventually climbing this ladder through repetition, repeating sessions, doing things over and over again, where you're just going up, and your new your new point of skill is higher and higher. But understand it's always going to be up and down a little bit, up and then down a little bit. And it's always going to really be going in that pattern. So another thought that really trips people up, and this is the killer of growth. This is one of the number one killers of growth. And if you ever catch yourself saying this, interrupt the pattern right away. I don't need to do that. I've already done it before. Or I don't need to do that. I already know that. Now, I'm a soccer coach, and I have a channel where I make soccer videos, and the amount of times I have gotten this comment is too many to count, and it just, you know, it's like a slap in the face every single time to me, or it just makes me a little sad because I know that player that's saying that is never going to improve quickly. In fact, they may just stay in the same spot for a very long time because they come to something and they see one of the fundamentals I'm explaining and then go like, I already know how to do that, on to the next thing. It doesn't matter if you know how. It doesn't matter if you know how. The masters, the ones that get up to here, stage 4, they do the fundamentals and basics over and over and over again. And they're making this little progress up there until eventually they've done so many repetitions to the best of their ability that they can do it with their eyes closed. They knew how to do it years ago. It wasn't about them knowing how to do it. It was about them continually doing the things that they knew would get them better over and over and over and over and over again. Repetition, repetition, repetition. And this applies to every single area, every single skill. Not just the sport, not just music. It includes your finances. It includes the way you act in your relationships. It includes your social skills. It includes your health in the way you eat. That's a habit. It includes your sleep schedule. I've been getting up at 4:50 a.m. every single day for the last 2 weeks as a part of a challenge I'm doing, and I'm loving it. And yeah, in the beginning it was a lot harder, and it's still it's still a little hard, but the further along I'm getting, I'm going whoop, whoop, okay, the skill of getting up early, whoop, 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 until eventually, months down the line of having done this, which I am so fully committed to doing, it's gonna be, I get up at 4:50 before my alarm goes off, and it's just easy for me. And now suddenly I'm reaping the benefits just because I stayed in it. I did repetition after repetition. I'm reaping the benefits of getting up at that time, being up before almost everyone else, and getting so much done before anyone else has even brushed their teeth in the morning. That is the power of this, and it does not need to take long. And one thing that one of my mentors, Peter Sage, said is, what if every single month, just you created one new habit and you followed this? One new habit every single month, that would be 12 new habits in a year. Do you think you would be different? Do you think you would be a radically different person if you created one habit of getting up early and going to bed at a good time? And then you create a habit next month to go along with that habit. And remember, the sleeping habit's now a habit, so you're doing it automatically. And now you add, I'm going to eat healthy 6 days a week and have a little fun on the last day. That's what I'm going to do. And you do a whole month of that. And then the next month you go, you know what, I'm going to start working out consistently and do that. And then 3 months in, you have these 3 habits created and you keep going. And 4th month, you know what, I'm not that great with finances. I'm going to actually learn how to deal with my finances. I'm going to learn how to get good with money. I'm going to watch some of the videos on HeartSpace about money mindset. I'm going to really study them. I'm going to really make sure I understand this and get good at it. Boom. You will be a radically different person a year later. In fact, you'll be a radically different person 6 months later, 4 months later. But you'll be so different a year from that point that no one will even recognize you. You'll be doing things that a year previous you wouldn't have even believed you could do. But like I said, why is it that most people from year to year never change? Because they don't do this. They give up on stage 2. Don't give up on stage 2. You're holding yourself back if you give up on stage 2. You are literally saying to your dreams, to the things you want to achieve in life, to the life you want to live, you are basically throwing up the middle finger to that when you keep giving up in stage 2. Because life keeps giving you these opportunities to do the things that you want to do, but then you go, I don't want to put in the work. I'm going to give up on stage 2 once I realize how bad I am at it because I don't want to put in the work to get good. Do you think anyone who's good at anything didn't put in the work to get good at that thing? Every single one did. Every single person that's good at anything you can see had to go through that stage 2 as well. The difference is they decided and committed to doing it. They got to stage 3 through repetition, repetition, repetition. They moved up that habit curve, and then they finally got to stage 4. And guess what? When they hit stage 4, it felt oh so sweet, and now they have a habit that is going to benefit them for the rest of their lives. So guys, as in all my videos, let's put this into action. I want you to comment down below with a habit, a skill, something you're going to start doing, something you've been putting off, something that your heart has been telling you to do for a long time. Maybe it's to develop a reading habit, a meditation habit. Maybe it's to be working out a little more, be eating healthier. I want you to choose the one that pops into your head right away because you know that's the one that you want to do. You know it's the one that your heart wants. And I want you to put into the comments, I want you to put your name or something else that represents you, or go, I commit I commit for the next 30 days, every single day, to do blank, whatever it is, put it in there, for at least, then put a number, and then I want you to commit to it. I want you to set a time each and every day. So if it's something you do daily, and you don't have to do daily, guys, it could be I'm going to work out 3 or 4 times a week, and I commit to that for the next month. And then, but what you're going to do is list out the days that you're going to do it. I commit to working out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday for the next month. Put it down in the comments, confirm it, leverage yourself, guys. This can change your life. And when the next month comes around, maybe we'll do another video and you can do another one and you'll have another habit to work on and then another one until you have 12 incredible habits. So guys, that is going to be an incredible exercise for you. That is how you develop skill. That is how you develop success habits. That is how you change your life. That is the action you need to take. Stop giving up at conscious incompetence. Stop settling for conscious incompetence. Start improving your standards, aim higher, and your life will change. As always, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.